Bribing body snatchers, he harvests choice limbs from fresh corpses, arms of executed criminals, and sturdy bones. In his secluded laboratory, like a mad sculptor, he stitches together dead flesh and bone into a colossal frame.
Every stitch brings him closer to the impossible. But the moment his creation opens its eyes, Victor freezes. This isn't the miracle he imagined. It's the beginning of his worst nightmare. Picture this. Way out in the freezing, unforgiving Arctic, a ship stuck dead in a massive blizzard. All around them, it's just endless ice and biting cold. Through the thick snow, the crew spots a dying guy. He's totally wrecked by hunger and frostbite, and to top it off, one of his legs is some kind of weird silver prosthetic. But right before they can pull him onto the ship, something massive bursts out of the whiteout. It's a towering, battered creature. Doesn't look human at all, and ordinary bullets just bounce right off it. The massive, terrifying creature looks almost impossible to defeat. It's strong enough to move the entire ship with its bare hands. But despite his incredible strength, he doesn't care about the crew. He only wants one thing: Victor Frankenstein. Finally, the captain manages to shoot the ice beneath the creature's feet, sending it plunging into the freezing depths below. To understand how it all began, we've got to rewind the clock to a time when Victor Frankenstein wasn't a famous scientist. He was just a kid. Victor grew up in a wealthy family and adored his mother. Instead, his dad cared way more about science than human decency. So whenever Victor didn't know the answer to a question, he knew he'd better brace himself for punishment. He was one of the greatest surgeons of his time, who believed the human body was nothing more than a machine made of replaceable parts. But when Victor's mother became sick, the brilliant surgeon couldn't save her. And for young Victor, that single moment changed everything. He didn't see his father's failure as proof that death was unavoidable. He saw it as a personal challenge, that if his father couldn't defeat death, then he would. And years later, that dark obsession would lead him to the most dangerous experiment in human history. Then we time travel to 19th century Europe on a cold, rainy night. Darkness hangs heavy over cobblestone streets, and the air smells like wet earth and decay. We are right in the heart of the prestigious Royal College of Medicine, where everyone expects nothing more than dull, conventional lecture. Victor Frankenstein is now a young, brilliant, but wildly arrogant scientist who isn't here to preach. With a terrifying spark of confidence in his eyes, Victor stands before the stunned faculty and strikes at humanity's oldest fear: death itself. He proudly reveals that he has cracked the ultimate code, animating lifeless matter and erasing the boundary between life and destruction. A suffocating silence sweeps across the auditorium. The board sits paralyzed between shock, rage, and sheer horror, realizing that what Victor is presenting isn't just a bold claim, it's an all-out declaration of war against nature and God. He flips the switch, triggering a ruthless surge of electricity. Amidst blinding sparks and violent shocks, the massive body stitched together from the dead suddenly gasps for air and opens its eyes. When the university board mocks and ridicules his experiment, Victor takes an apple and tosses it toward the newborn creation. In a breathtaking display of razor-sharp brain-eye-hand coordination, the creature catches the apple mid-air. This impressive feat pisses off the faculty even more, sending them into a total outrage. Driven by sheer disgust and resentment, they brutally condemn his act, viewing it as pure blasphemy, playing God, an insult to sacred values, and a reckless line crossed in human morality, uniting to put an absolute stop to his insanity. Right after Victor's controversial speech, a super-wealthy businessman named Heinrich Harlander approaches him. Harlander thinks Victor is an absolute genius and makes him an offer no ambitious scientist could ever turn down: unlimited funding. He shows Victor these ancient anatomical charts called the Evelyn tables, which reveal how energy is stored around the heart. Harlander is basically handing Victor the secret key to creating eternal life. Around this time, Victor meets his brother William and William's fiancée, Elizabeth. Elizabeth is sharp, opinionated, and instantly challenges Victor, telling him that chasing stupid ideas only leads to tragedy. But honestly, her fiery personality completely entrances Victor. Harlander provides an abandoned, unfinished water tower by Lake Vaduz. The moment Victor sees this cold, dark tower, he just knows this is where his destiny lies. With his brother's help, he starts building his dream lab, setting up massive batteries, pure silver lightning rods to catch power from the sky, and taking late-night trips to the gallows to scavenge the biggest, most muscular bodies he can find. It's not all just dark science, though. One of the coolest scenes happens in a church where Victor hides in a confessional booth, pretending to be an old priest just to listen to Elizabeth's confession. Elizabeth admits that despite being engaged to William, she feels this weird attraction to Victor, seeing him as a controlling yet deeply broken soul. Afterward, they go out for dinner. Elizabeth talks about her passion for science and insects, and for the very first time in his life, Victor finds himself falling in love with life itself instead of being obsessed with death. But that peace doesn't last long. Harlander starts pushing Victor to finish the experiment ASAP and finally reveals his dirty secret. He's dying of syphilis, and he's running out of time. The real condition for funding Victor's project? Harlander wants Victor to put his brain inside the new creature's body so he can live forever in a healthy, powerful vessel. Victor is totally horrified and flat out refuses, calling it complete madness. The night of the massive storm arrives. Realizing Victor won't put his brain in the body, a desperate Harlander tries to sabotage the experiment. High up on the tower, amidst the lightning, a brutal fight breaks out, and Harlander ends up falling to his death. Now completely alone, Victor pulls the main levers. A massive surge of lightning hits the silver rods, channeling raw electricity straight into the creature. After a blinding flash and a heavy heartbeat, the creature takes its very first breath, opens its eyes. When the creature first opens his eyes, Victor isn't looking at a monster or a villain. He's looking at a newborn baby trapped inside the body of a giant. This massive creature doesn't even know how to stand on his own 2 feet. He flinches at the sound of thunder and stares at his own hands in complete confusion. For a few brief days, Victor sets aside his mad ambition and steps into the role of a father. With gentle patience, he tries to teach his creation the simplest things in life: how to take his very first steps, how to touch.
Yes. Yes.
But panic quickly sets in as he realizes the unbelievable strength of what he's created. Terrified and unable to control him, Victor drags the creature down into the dark catacombs beneath the tower and locks him in heavy chains. Weeks pass. Victor attempts to train the creature, but frustrated that he can only repeat the name Victor, his patience turns into cruelty. He resorts to the harsh punishments of his own father, all while noticing something horrifyingly unnatural. The creature's wounds heal almost instantly. Everything changes when Elizabeth and William arrive at the tower. Stealing away from the others, Elizabeth sneaks down to the cell. Unlike Victor, she shows tenderness, handing the creature a single leaf and teaching him her name. Struggling, the creature forces out the words. Discovering them, Victor flies into a rage. Driven to prove that the creation is nothing more than a mindless beast, he tortures him to see if he even feels pain. To cover his own tracks, he lies to William, blaming the creature for Harlander's death. Overwhelmed by regret and seeing his creation as an abomination, Victor decides to erase it all. He sends Elizabeth and William away and sets the entire laboratory ablaze. A massive explosion rocks the tower, throwing Victor into the air and severing his right leg. But amid the inferno, the creature snaps his chains, breaks through the flames, and disappears into the dark forest. He ends up near a small cabin where a blind old man lives. Since the old man can't see his terrifying face, he doesn't judge or fear him at all. Instead, he treats him with kindness, teaching him how to read, write, and speak.
During these moments, we see the creature at his absolute purest and most innocent. He bonds with wild animals, reads Paradise Lost, and just tries to figure out his place in this huge, confusing world. But that peaceful life gets shattered real quick. One day, while the old man's family is away, wolves attack the cabin and kill him. The creature tries his best to save him, but right as he's kneeling over the old man's body, the family returns. Seeing this giant, horrifying monster standing over the corpse, they instantly assume he's the killer. They attack him relentlessly, beating him and chasing him off. That's the exact moment the creature's innocence dies forever. He realizes humans will only ever see him as a monster, no matter what. Filled with pure rage, he decides to track down his creator, Victor, to make him pay for giving him such a cursed existence. The creature confronts Victor and makes one simple demand.
Make one like me, and I cannot live. Never again will I make something like you, wicked. But ever listen!
This feud boils over on the night of William and Elizabeth's wedding. The creature sneaks into the house, sending everyone into a total panic. Panicking and holding a gun, Victor aims at the creature and pulls the trigger. But he misses. The bullet hits Elizabeth instead. Desperate to protect his family and aid Victor, William steps straight into the conflict. However, during the physical brawl, William is no match for the creature's immense physical strength and is killed in the melee. The night that was supposed to be the best night of Victor's life ended, not only with the death of two of the last people he held dear, but with William calling him a monster in his very last words before he died. In her final moments, Elizabeth finds peace in the creature's arms before closing her eyes forever. In that moment, the creature sees something in Elizabeth that he had never seen in his creator's eyes. You might find it interesting to know that in Mary Shelley's original novel, the creature killed Elizabeth to get revenge on Victor. The creature stands over Victor, breaks his bones, and coldly declares that he is now Victor's master, returning the unwanted gift of life. Next comes the pursuit across the frozen expanse. Consumed by vengeance, Victor heads into the freezing ice of the North Pole, armed with dynamite and weapons to settle the score. He chases the creature until no horizons are left, just two wounded souls alone amidst the endless white ice. During the confrontation in the Arctic, a freezing and dying Victor faces the creature. The creature confronts him with the bitter truth of his actions and challenges him to ignite the dynamite. Eventually, the crew of the Danish ship Horisont rescues Victor's barely conscious body and brings him aboard. Finally comes the ultimate conversation and redemption. On his deathbed, Victor's pride finally shatters. He calls the creature his son and begs for forgiveness, asking him to say his name one last time, just as he used to when Victor meant the world to him. The creature forgives him, and the malice dissolves. Following Victor's death, the creature stands over his father's body, reflecting on their shared struggle for humanity. Having attained inner peace, he abandons his hatred. The ship's captain orders his men to lower their weapons, allowing the creature to leave in silence. The creature uses his immense strength to break the ship free from the surrounding ice, allowing the crew to set sail, while he walks away into the frozen horizon. That's all from the video. Now it's your turn. Who do you think was right? Victor, who paid the price for his ego, or the creature, who just wanted to be accepted? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on upcoming movies and stories. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell to get notified as soon as the next video drops. Thanks for watching, and take care.